What happens when you bring a sister wife over from another country and she winds up filing a restraining order against you? That's what I want to talk about today. You might remember Christalline, the Snowdens' potential sister wife from South Africa. Apparently, she actually became the sister wife, came over to the US with her kids, and has now, as of last night, I'm guessing, filed a restraining order against Dimitri Snowden. Now, TMZ is reporting that she also filed a restraining order against Ashley Snowden. It says, Christalline claims back in January, Ashley shoved me to prevent me from leaving the home my husband and I shared with her. Okay, wait a minute. I don't understand. The home that my husband and I shared with her, isn't it the home that Ashley and her husband shared with Christalline? I have an opinion about this, but let me read the rest of this. So, it says, she also claimed Ashley threw a bottle at her and was verbally abusive. Christalline added, my children are scared of her due to her yelling at them and the violence in the home between her and my husband and me and her. The way that's worded, seeking sister wife star Dimitri Snowden could be in hot water because one of the women on the show was accusing him of domestic abuse, according to new legal docs. Christalline Peterson filed a restraining order against Dimitri, claiming he's been physically abusive during their relationship over the last year, to the point it's even scaring her two young daughters. Christalline says back in January she was woken up one day by him slamming my head into the headboard of the bed and he was yelling at me. She went on to claim that Dimitri slammed her head on the headboard several times. She says she filed a police report. What's more, she claims Dimitri was abusive during, we'll call it the ride on the D train rather than the S word, just for the sake of video. She says he choked me during the D train ride, even though I told him not to. She added, the more I struggled, the more he enjoyed it. Christalline says her only choice was to go along with it. She claims, I stopped saying no after a few times because any struggle by me would prolong the ride and choking. Christalline claims things got so out of hand one time she got very dizzy and felt like she was going to pass out. She says she suffered bruises, scratches, and redness around her neck from the alleged attack. So, here's my question. Okay, here are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. Okay, so this alleged attack, right? She filed paperwork. She filed a restraining order against Ashley and Dimitri. Okay, now I'm gonna sideline here and say that I'm also a Judge Judy fan. Don't judge. And it happens from time to time where litigants will come on the show who have filed a restraining order against someone that they live with. On one particular show, a woman was dating this guy. She moved into his house with her son. Then I guess she and the guy stopped getting along, and so she filed a restraining order against him, even though he owned the home. Now, even though he owned the home, he had to leave and was out of the house for 9 or 10 months. For that whole period of time, she lived there with her son, and he still paid the mortgage because it's his mortgage, it's his house, right? I'm wondering if that's not what happened here. Where did Dimitri and Ashley Snowden and their children go when Christalline filed a restraining order against them? That's my first question. My second question is, where the hell is Taylor? My third question is this something like it why Vanessa left? Those are my questions. So yeah, it's really shitty that if you live with someone and they file a restraining order against you, you have to leave because he has to stay something like 100 meters away from her or 100 yards away from her. How are you gonna say, let me look this up again. How are you gonna say 100 yards away from someone that you live with? Yeah, 100 yards. Dimitri must stay at least 100 yards away from her and her two daughters because she says they're afraid of him as he often yells and punches the walls or furniture. How are you gonna stay 100 yards away from someone that you live with? So, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So, I don't believe everything I hear. I believe none of what I hear. I believe half of what I see, because there are two sides to every story. And Christalline is not their first sister wife. In addition, as far as the last episode goes, they've got Taylor living with them too. So I'm thinking, okay, so where is Taylor in all of this? Did she leave? Did she, you know, is this some kind of a deal to get them out of that? I have no idea, but it all feels really weird. It feels weird. And I'm not saying that she's not telling the truth. I'm just saying that she's not their first sister wife. So if these allegations are true, you know, leopards don't change their spots, zebras don't change their stripes. She probably isn't the first one that he's been doing this to, if the allegations are true. Anywho, that's all I got. I had to do this. I needed to get this out. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think that this is a case of someone, landing in the US and having some kind of a scheme up her sleeve? Or do you believe that Dimitri Snowden is actually capable? And I mean, you can never tell who's capable, right? He can seem like, the second coming, and next thing you know, you turn around and he's, beating someone up. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts. That's all I've got right now for the dumpster fire that is the Snowden family. My name is Debbie. This is Sheality TV. I will see you next time. Peace.